Well, hey everyone, welcome to the Quest for Truth. We're here. We got Corina in the house as always, and I'm going to be sitting here co-hosting with her today. So, Corina, I'm going to hand it over to you, and you start it up.
Wow. Well, guys, welcome to the Quest for Truth. Karen, I'm so glad and so thrilled to have you. Ooh, this is awesome. I love when we tag team together. And you guys, we have such an amazing interview for you today with such a fabulous human being. Karen actually told me about this gentleman, this incredible gentleman. He's a truther from first-hand experience of what he's gone through in multiple ways, multiple arenas. But first and foremost, he is a father. He is a visionary. He was an actor. But you guys, he is also the author of the Immortals screenplay that was illegally used to create the Matrix franchise. So I'm so excited to have with us Tom Althouse. Tom, this is so incredible to have you here with us. I'm so excited because our platform is called The Quest for Truth. And we love that you are here because you have firsthand experience to be able to blow the whistle and speak about the truth because of illegal stuff that were done that are not right, and you are so bold to come on here and speak the truth. And I would love for you to, so first of all, see, I'm already getting fired up about this interview. So first of all, welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you. No, I'm pleased to be here. Like we said, just before we got on, I could see right away you guys had these like layers, the vibrancy and things like this. And when you look for genuine, in my situation, you were always looking for genuine people. And right away I saw that, and it felt very much like fireside home. So I appreciate very much being part of your space here.
Oh, it's really an honor because I know Karen told me about you, and we met a little bit at the beginning, and we've talked. And Tom, the injustice that was done is so wrong, and I just want you to come up, to be here, to be bold and share the truth because people need to know what's going on. You guys, we are called the Quest for Truth, and we all should be on a quest of truth. So truth is here right now to unveil the lies, to unveil the injustices, the thievery that's been happening either for the children, either for our finances, either for our health, either for something as important as a screenplay that was put in this man's DNA and inside his blueprint for him to release to humanity, that carry mysteries, that carry keys for all of humanity, and the evil ones came and stole it. So Tom, let's just release you. Just share with us what happened.
Well, it's interesting. You just said it so well, because as a child, these things were bubbling up, percolating, and then it all came to a head when I was at the religious right, when I was being employed to be basically the face of the Christian coalition, which means I would be running for political office. I was made privy to a lot of plans that were very, very bad. And I was told that, they're different. We're set apart by God, and we get to do whatever we want, basically, because we're different than the rest. We're the ones that are chosen. Wow, what a way to keep it open. And so it led to this. It led to this actual screenplay being written where what I say is whispered through art. It's 128 pages. The opposition will say that it's 8 pages of scribbled notes. Well, I don't think that's 8 pages of scribbled notes. And so then they'll say it's a forgery, and you can tell it's embossed and everything. There's the PAU number right there. We can look it up at the Library of Congress. There's the lady you can find out. So their arguments are very flimsy. They're falling apart. But that is the basis for Matrix and other screenplays, other movies that they used. And what's interesting is it actually is a full-on shooting script. It's written as a shooting script. And so if you look inside, it'll have points of view, camera things, interior shots. It'll be described. Everything's there as a shooting script. Now, they weren't used to that. They're used to taking works like books or other people's ideas that way. They're not used to having a shooting script. How do you steal a shooting script? And so what they did, they came up with the process of, we will take the script in one hand, and we'll have a storyboard of all the lifted images off of it that we think are cool, and we'll make it up as we go along. And that was told to me by the fight choreographer, Paul Martin, later, that's exactly what happened. This was on set in Matrix in '99 in one hand with a 20-foot rule that if you're within 20 feet, you're fired. If you're seeing that's 20 feet. Within 20 feet, and then the storyboard in the other, and they made up as they went along. They actually wrote the Matrix down after they shot the film. And that's why you actually have the actors talking in a way that sounds so distinct from other films you may watch. Like if you hear Morpheus talking or Smith talking, they sound like this, basically. You know, you take the pill and you enter into a realm where the laundry lady is doing. The reason they're talking like this is because they're making up as they go along, and then they're writing it down later. Isn't that something? So you can even tell a telltale sign right there that they are actually making up as they go along with that visual storyboard, and the directors using that, stealing the work, and everybody on set knows it's being stolen.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Now, Tom, let's go to the beginning. Just the name of the screenplay is so powerful, The Immortals.
Thank you.
What in you made you write that screenplay? And then let's go from there and see how they stole it, and just, because I feel like there is such a powerful message in that title, Immortals. Especially if you look at what Yeshua was saying regarding what's in our DNA and the power that's within us, because the kingdom realms, infinity, if we look at the Bible, says are inside of us. So when you wrote an incredible screenplay called The Immortals, why did you write that? What in you made you focus on that?
Well, one interesting thing was one of the things that prompted me to write it was I had gone through a situation, like, remember this phrase about Zion? There's Zion in Matrix. We all know about Zion, the underground city. That's right from a personal experience where I get very emotional about, where I had cried out to our creator, right? And I don't want to put a Hollywood name on him, and I don't want to put even any kind of specific anything on it, because it's up for us to discover as he reveals. And so I'm not going to trademark or stamp him with a certain term.
Very good.
And so what happened was I was crying out thinking, I want to be closer to who you are. So if there's a way, I want to have that. Also, as your children, I would like for us to have an opportunity to maybe alter the timeline where we get to prove ourselves as your children, that we can come through. Because when I saw Revelations as a child and things like this, I thought, this is very bleak and very dark. Isn't there any way, Father, that we can prove ourselves and maybe have a different outcome? And as your children come through. And so what happened was I went through this experience where I cried out saying, let me be close to you. Let me find that way where I feel your presence. And oh my God, at night, I had the Bible out on a little pedestal beside the bed. This is very personal. And I heard flipping pages. I was like, woke up hearing this. And so it stopped, and I saw a little sliver of light, like a moon piece or something, a little bit of light. I put my finger on the Bible. It's very personal, but on the Bible, opened up. It said, the sons of Israel will ask weeping the way to Zion, and I'll show them the way and make a covenant with them forever. Very, very potent for me. That's the genesis of the Matrix, the Immortals. That's the Immortals. And so the idea was that we could please our Father on this earthly realm. And that the promise was it'd be 70 years of peace, or if it went backwards, it'd be 7 years of turmoil. So what I understand is we could have a respite where we delight in our Creator in this time. And as children, we asked that, and our Father said yes. So right now, I believe we're in an altered timeline because of our doing this. And he sent me through a program of training before this was written. And in it, all these things are coming true. And that's what the other side's so freaked out about, including the agencies. Even the fake Oval Office is in here. The Jacks the Neck Neuro-Link is all through here. The idea of Syrian iPod is in here. And this is back when it's being contrived in 89. And so what you have is this idea where I went through this training process where I stood in the center of my room after the experience I just told you, and I felt lifted. And I felt this euphoric kind of feeling of just presence and peace. It was so moving. And then a word came in my head, and it just went, phew. I was like, what? And so I got a lesson right away that we have to be able to have only positive in our mind, not empty our mind, not practice emptying it, because we're to be vibrant. That's why we have dreams, to keep our mind active and functioning and thriving. And so it's not a matter of emptying our minds. I won't practice that. It's a matter of only pure, beautiful, positive thoughts. And I learned a process of doing that, where as I was able to do that, not anything negative just enter in my mind, then I actually felt lifted where there was like a witnesses around,
Mm,
elevated
mm.
witnesses, and it said that I would be honored in the heavens, not on the earth. And what happened afterwards certainly lived up to that promise.
Wow. I mean, Tom, you have a lot of proof. And this is what I would love to bring to our viewers.
Mm.
You guys, it's one for all for one, right? That's what it's supposed to be, because the dark forces have come to bring so much division, because they know if they can tear us apart, then they've won. They've really won this war, and that's what they want. But if we unite, so in other words, if I engage and if I feel the truth in Tom, and I put my heart's desire, my love, the energy that creates in there, so that he can win for truth, then you guys, that's called unity. That means where we go one, we go all. It's time for us to stop talking and actually do the stuff. Tom, I'm so sick and tired of people talking. We're all talking, but we need to actually unite. So this is our opportunity, you guys, to unite. Now Tom's going to show us a lot of proof. He has a lot of proof to unite. We're here presenting this truth, and it's up to you to make the decision. And if you feel called, I just encourage you, unite in however you pray, however the love energy, to focus on this truth coming out of what Tom's dealt with. So Tom, share with us some of the truth that you have, because you have a lot of proof.
Yeah, and watch this as we do the program. Watch for interruptions, power cut, things shut as you show things, because that's happened in multiple programs now where they just cut the power. So just in case they do, note what we're talking about if it happens, because it's being done by habit now. And so whatever they cut on or interrupt on or glitch on is what they're most concerned about being shown. Mindset, frame that, and we go on. So right here is the first entry in the matrix. The first scene they shot was the interrogation scene. The first graphic is this graphic. This is a very expensive graphic to make. It's the rap sheet, if you will, on Neo. And this is where they unleash all the personal information. It's shown for a split second, like you just showed. That clip is very important. It shows how fast it flips by. And yeah, very good. Go on, right there. So that is housing all this personal information on the original, right there, original author. And so they don't want that seen or understood by the public. This is back when they're doing VHS. Try to freeze frame a VHS tape, so, or if you're in the studio or in the movie theaters watching this and it's flipped by, I don't think anybody's going to have like photographic memory and go, oh yeah, look, I'm just going to scan that now in my mind. So what you have on here is a breakdown of July 22nd. First of all, let's just cruise right through this. July 22nd. Okay. The Wachowskis are going to put personal information about the actual author in it, right? And so July 22nd is, or we can start right here, Thomas A. Thomas A. Here's my license. I'll hold it up. So Thomas A. is Thomas A., right? And Anderson's my Scottish clan name. And what you have is, in this entry, P is my middle initial, Park. So P. So Thomas A. with the Park, middle. Anderson, Scottish clan name. On this, they're putting 9/11 in. You'll see on the side there on the right corner down, 9/11. Because the original screenplay in the Immortals, right here, they hate when I hold it up, in here is a false flag. It's warning about a false flag. And in this case, it's a hospital being destroyed with children and stuff. That was the original scene in this piece, where the agencies, CIA and such, are what Smith works for in the beginning. Think of that. So why would they launder this? Why would they steal this? Because in this, it says the CIA is bad, the FBI is bad. In this, Agent Smith is actually a high department head in the CIA. Let that sink in. Thomas A. Anderson is actually working for the CIA in the beginning. He's actually, that's what he's working for, not some kind of hack computer software company. He's actually working for the CIA, the lower echelon department, and stumbles on this stuff. And what's interesting, the FBI actually gave me a card that said, please extend every courtesy to Tom Althouse, before I was tackled down. So it fits. That's why my character that I created is part of the agency, because I was being groomed to be part of the agency. Even see that makes sense? And so what they were doing was they had to destroy information coming out at that point. And that's why they also stole the work and cleansed it. Now, if you go back to the graphic just before, take me, perfect. Boy, that was fast. You have July 22nd, right? July 22nd is interesting because my birthday is July 2nd, but in records in 1996, when they were giving the Wachowskis my work, they were erasing my social security number, they were erasing all my records, and they put in place as a USA insurance company, which is the government insurance company, military government insurance company. They're an authority. They're pretty high up there on spotting checks and balances of people. Well, they did research and they alerted me and said July 22nd is what your birthday's listed as in 1999. And here it is. The Wachowskis knew that. Now, one of the arguments they're using is, here, sidetrack a bit, is they're saying, why would they do that? Now, Sophia Stewart even says, she'll call and say, why would they do that? They wouldn't do that. Like you said, the critical evidence is right here. This is a screenshot from the Matrix. They can't alter it. They can't change every DVD people have out there. You can't do it. So right here, they can't change this. They would if they could. July 22nd is there. And the Wachowskis did know because the agencies were working in the theft of this work. Because the agencies had actually given me the card, please extend every courtesy to Tom, and saw me as an asset. So that's why, yes, they do have this. The agencies allow them to know this stuff, and they're bragging about it. The Wachowskis were not supposed to make this entry. They wanted to brag about the power behind them, right? So Thomas A. Anderson, no brainer again. Go back to the license, Thomas A. Right? Thomas A. Right there on both, right? Thomas A. And P middle name. So what you have is Thomas A. as Neo. One thing in script writing and making films is you don't usually double name your character. It confuses your audience. That's basically writing 101. You don't do a double name for your characters because it gets confusing for your audience. It's enough to handle all the different names that's going in your play, right? And that's art of introducing them. And they stick to that name. In this case, in Matrix, they got a double name. Why? Because they want to mock the original author. So that is Neo and Thomas A, right? So what you go on next in that first graphic, back again, is besides July 22nd, which was listed as my birthday at the time, we have Thomas A. Anderson, right? Thomas A. and Scottish clan name. Look at that next one, March 11th. I want to introduce you to somebody. There's my fiance. At the time I pitched it, was at the pitch session with me, Otika Ball, Senator David Bourne's niece, engaged to be married to me, the author. Her birthday is what? Go back to the original one more time. What's Neo's birthday? Date of birth, March 11th. I give you Otika Ball, born March 11th. My fiance's birthday is Neo's birthday. What are the chances? So you have my birthday on the heading, as it was altered, my name, my Scottish clan name, and Otika's birthday. But let's go on. The Wachowskis aren't finished yet, right? They're not done. So they go on with John Anderson, father's name. Father's name? Well, that's my dad's name, John. John A. Okay, so how many... What's the probability of having your dad's name, your fiance's birthday, your birthday, and your name on the main character with a double name? Right there, the probabilities are off the charts, right? Mathematically. Yeah. Let's go on. Back to the graphic again. Let's go. There's more. There's more to it. Let's see what else they want to throw in. So in this first graphic, the most important one to them, where they said they put tons of things in where audiences will never know. Look at the schools. So we have a school down there. We have Central West School. Now, they're making a big deal out of Central Bucks. Is it Central? What? Spell it. Bucks. We call it Central West. It's called Central West. We didn't go to people saying, I go to Central Bucks West High School. We said we went to Central West. That's what we said it. That's how we say it. Central West. You know, what kid's going to spell it out that way? So what they put? Central West. Central West. Now, why is Owen Patterson there? Owen Patterson High? Because that's the production manager. Owen Patterson, they wanted to put the joke of a high school named after the production manager who helped make this graphic. So Owen Patterson High, the joke is there. Haha, there's the joke. Who's Michelle McGahee? Neo's mom. Who's that? That's the art director. So to complete the joke, we've got the production manager, art director. Now, what do the Wachowskis say in their only testimony they give? They say that they didn't put my entries in here, that Owen Patterson and Michelle McGahee stuck all my personal information in. Well, here's the question. You're not negating it, are they? They're not negating it, are they? They're admitting it and blaming somebody else for it.
Good point. Good point.
The club put it there. They put it there.
Right.
And like they're mocking the author. So their minds, oh my God. So marital status, single, no big deal. So you have every entry here, even Capital City. Capital City, my main character in the original work, is from Washington, D.C. So if you're going to spin off of Washington, D.C., Capital City sure fits, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And here also is my commencement program, the original commencement program from Central Bucks West, Central West High. So look at the column. TA 40, 99 backwards. You see it? TA 40.
Yeah.
99?
Mhm.
Well, TA was 40 and 99. So how many entries do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 entries pertaining to the author, 2 from the people they claim put it there that they work with, that are top people. Right there alone. See? So how can we possibly lose the case, right? If they supply their own attorney, and their own attorney is, what do we say? Ineligible to practice law. Why is he ineligible to practice law? Because he has a suspended license. And so how long was his license suspended? The guy they sent me from University of Berkeley Law School, this is 1990, and this is happening in, what, 2029 he approaches me? Not eligible to practice law, Tony Rankin on Maui, a defense attorney. Why is a defense attorney coming to me? And so a defense attorney who's classmates with Linda Burrows, lead attorney for Warner Brothers.
Wow.
From a transgender firm.
Wow, wow, wow.
See how it all ties together?
Oh,
Now
absolutely.
the main player, yeah, the main player's on the run. And that's not the only entries in the Matrix, That's not the only entries they put in there. But that was a real slap in the face to see my fiance at the time,
Yeah.
who I then lost to Disney. They took her away. They approached her and took her away. And so to lose her was what broke me. In 1996, they finally give the work to the Wachowskis in 1996. So as soon as I was broken, my back was broken, my heart was broken, that's when they give the work to them.
Wow, 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 wow. I mean, if this is not, you guys, if this is not proof, then I don't know what is. So Tom, let me go in this direction. There is a lady that claims that she's the one that wrote. So she's the one that wrote it. Can you tell us more about her or how she plays in this?
Absolutely. She's out of USC. In fact, you showed a graphic earlier, which will really indicate it really well. There's a graphic of her right before she holding the Academy Award, where she has her company name listed. We can we'll go for that while we're talking. But the thing is, Sophia Stewart was actually brought out of USC. There it is, right there. Go back one more. You got it. One more back. There. Okay, see it? So here's her contacting me, that upper left corner.
Yes.
It says confirm. See the blue box, confirmed? She's contacting me. Sophia Stewart's contacting me with a friend request. So she's asking me to be her friend online, right? At the same time, you'll see that center entry.
Yes.
Where she's sending that to one of her people that sends it to me, where while she's requesting my friendship, she's saying, Tom is not seeking justice, just pure ego and publicity. All right. So she's actually stabbing behind the back, which is their tactic. Look at the company name that she has for herself. Owner, writer, producer. Read that company name. At owner, writer, producer at, do you see it? All Eyes on Me.
Yeah.
Incorporated. So she's saying what? Just pure ego and publicity. Well, if you're the owner, writer, and producer of All Eyes on Me Incorporated, I don't think you get a more narcissistic titling. You know, I mean, that's incredible. And there it says, out of University of Southern California. So who is she? She was selected by Kate Chilton of Warner Brothers, who has a story in herself, a failed associate, who was then put in charge of Warner Brothers Legal when I submitted in '93. She was then put in charge right at that point. Sophia Stewart was selected by Kate Chilton out of University of Southern California as a failed writer. She failed at everything she did out of the projects. So she's selected to be a first claimant for the public. She's selected to make that claim before the author realizes anything has happened. And then people are supposed to go, well, I already heard this before. This lady's claimed it, so this guy can't be true. The last person to know is usually the one being bamboozled. So they bring a first claimant in to claim it. And they actually made the Oracle look like her in Matrix. They do the Art of War where they win their battles before you fight, right? Cowardly. And so they cast an actress that looked like Sophia so that they think people would be dumb and go, wait, that looks like her. They must have taken her work. Well, the point is, Sophia Stewart doesn't have any work. She has 33 pages, never had a screenplay as far as work, never screenplay. That's 128 pages. Hers is 33. You can't have a screenplay out of 33. The Hollywood measure is 1 page a minute, right? So mine would be 128 minutes long. Hers would be 33. She maybe has a TV half Hallmark section. But the thing is that, you know, she doesn't have a screenplay. Yet so they would do is to make the oracle look like her. They can do that and then claim that, oh, it's her. Her work was stolen.
Right.
You know, if they cast somebody to look like somebody, that's more culpability. That means that they're actually probably more guilty if you're not showing written work, right? Like, means that she was cast to look alike. She was made to be snowed over the public. And boy, she plays her role well with that. She's on every program we can grab up.
Yes.
You know, and you'll see her showing tons of cleavage. I mean, to a scary level. As an older woman showing tons of cleavage? Why? We don't want to see that. And then these big sunglasses, like she's some kind of huge movie star. The bigger the glasses, the better. It's like that movie, Scary Movie, where they make the joke about the officer having the bigger and bigger hat. It's like she's got the bigger and bigger glasses. It's just, it's absurdity. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you have a few more slides for the proof. So go ahead and show us that, please.
Okay. So so the next slide, it's pretty interesting. Here she's holding it's either a fake Academy Award or somebody else's, but she's posing to make look like she won something. She didn't win an Academy Award. She didn't win for her 33 pages, which is actually a cross between Star Wars and the Bible. If you're going to plagiarize something and try to get away with it, you just pick the biggest things that would be like the most ridiculous to try to plagiarize. So Star Wars and the Bible blended? Well, first of all, that's kind of sacrilegious. And then you're actually trying to claim that you're the author of this. So she can go before God and claim that she came up with the scriptures first. Anyway, so here on the side, though, is her Sophia Stewart's summary judgment. What's interesting about this document is she loses in 2005, it says, right? So she definitively lost. Now they're saying I lost. Well, they supplied an attorney who had a suspended license, right? Which we showed. And the last thing he did was when we went to fire him finally, he said, you can't fire me. Within a half hour after we officially fired him, he allowed the opposition in a phone call to proceed to summary judgment without objection, which means we're dead in the water. And now people see, oh, he lost his case, he lost his case, he lost his case. Easy for simpletons to throw at us, right? And that's why it's so important for critical thinking. Now, for her case, they went through everything and they wanted to make sure their handled person, their handler, would be handled. They have a phrase, if we make you, we can break you. So they wanted to make sure that she would be obedient. So they officially throw her situation, and it was done on purpose, where she lost a summary judgment in 2005. Now, here's where it's important. She lost in 2005. You have like 3 years, maybe statute limitations to do an appeal, right? She doesn't do the appeal, but she's contacted in 2009. That's 4 years after the fact, right? Warner Brothers isn't going to take a chance. The Art of War, Disney and Warner Brothers. So they contact her and say, we want to make a deal with you. If you handle Tom Althouse, the original author, who has all that stuff in there, then we will pay you $5 to $7 million at the conclusion of handling him. Now, here's what happens, right? She wants to prove to her public, her fans, as she says. She contacted me many times. She wants to prove to them that she was offered money by Warner Brothers. So she posts the payoff letter on her site. And that was a big no-no. So it is the Q group that let me know that it was there. And then the Q group turned on me. I was handled by right, left, you name it. And I got to see their mask off. And so they reveal this thing, playing both sides, and they show me this letter. So I have this letter. So what happens is in the letter, Kate Chilton is answering back Sophia Stewart and her partner in 2014. Now listen to this. In 2014, Kate Chilton writes a letter to Sophia Stewart. You're no longer needed. We're not going to pay you the $5 to $7 million we talked about in 2009 because Tom's already handled. His case is thrown in 2014. So my case is thrown in 2014. Sophia starts handling me in 2009. Exactly what the letter says. 2009 to 2014, the pace is what the money's going to be for, handling Tom, not for her claim, which was thrown in 2005, right? And so here's the wrap up on this. So in 2014, the letter back to Sophia Stewart, who written saying, I want my money, right? And I actually have a tape of her calling me going, I've got the money, I got the letter, I've got the money, bragging that she's going to get money. Well, she didn't get the money. Kate Chilton instead writes a letter after recording this saying, we're not going to give you the money. We said we talked about the $5 to $7 million because you weren't needed. We dealt with Tom. We finished Tom off basically. So we're not going to give you the money. So Sophia Stewart posted anyway to make it look like she's offered money. Yeah. As soon as we brought it forward, two things happened. Sophia Stewart strikes it from her channel right away. Well, that's telling. And Kate Chilton resigns. Kate Chilton resigns. The one who brought Elon Musk in, where Warner Brothers has Iron Man 2, where Elon Musk is shown to the public in Iron Man 2, where they're just pointing at him at the raceways. They're just like, hey, there's Elon Musk, says Tony Stark. And Elon Musk is going, because he's the groom boy from the inside to take Neuro-Link from the intellectual property where it's all here, where, Warner Bros. Says it's not there. Now, I know I'm layering a lot on here, but here, just stay with me.
Yes.
Here's the wrap up of the letter, and I appreciate you guys following this.
Yeah.
There's layers to it. So in the end, Sophia Stewart's told, we're not going to give you the $5 to $7 million for handling Tom because we did it ourselves. Sophia Stewart is furious. So she posts the letter showing this. We reveal that it's there. She strikes it, and Kate Chilton resigns. She's supposed to be a Superior Court judge till 2029. Instead, she runs for the hills as soon as the Kate Chilton Sophia Stewart letter is revealed.
Wow.
Who is Sophia Stewart? A handler, a pawn for Warner Brothers. That's who she is.
Wow. Now, Tom, because you mentioned the Neuro-Link. So let's go into that a little bit. And then we're going to ask you to kind of bring the truth regarding the trafficking that's been happening in the Christian arena. So we're going to throw a lot of truth at you today. So can you handle the truth? That's the question. And if you're here watching us, you can. So hold on, because we're going deeper. So Tom.
Yes. And let me just mention while we're in the middle of this, Tom's going to be on live with us guys for now the next 30 minutes. And then we're going to go into, can you handle the truth? Where we're going to let Tom let it all hang out. He's going to blow us away. And then that will be for the Patreon gold tier members. And if you haven't joined yet, please do by going to the Patreon and look for the Quest for Truth with Corina Pataki. Back to you, Corina.
So thank you, Karen. So Tom, share with us what's Neuro-Link, because you mentioned it, and Elon Musk and the Immortals, and then in the Matrix franchise. So go ahead and share with us, please.
Well, the Neuro-Link was integral to the story, the Immortals. And you asked about where the title The Immortals comes from and why it was chosen. Part of that was out of a vision where I saw a waking vision where I was handed a sword, I believe. It was what I saw in the vision. And it said Unconquerable on it. So I'm actually starting a channel called The Unconquered in order honoring that. And so in that meant that no matter what I went through, I would prevail and see it through for the benefit of all. And that's what I felt my mantle responsibility was given to me. So in that moment. And so then this comes from that. So Immortals actually comes from that idea where we are going to have a one world society and there's no way around it, it looks like. So the main character, the Neo character in this, the main character is actually trying to see if we can at least make it a good one world society and change. That's a theme coming up now. And so the idea of the Immortals is the people in the program are offered an immortal program. It's actually an immortal program, which also didn't get this. And it's not robots in the program, it's real people in the program. That raises the stakes. If they show feeling or emotions, they're eliminated. The reason that, what's his name? The guy who plays Smith, the reason he chose his personification as his character, right? And I know I'm offshooting a layer here that I think might be interesting for your audience, since you guys are smart. The reason he talks the way he does is because he saw the entry that his character was robot-like. And so he acts like sort of like a robot. That's the actor's first choice. You can see that what I'm told now is that Wachowski's went, keep that, keep that. So he didn't get to develop his character. The first thing he did, their shallow minds went, keep that, keep that. So the poor guy had to personify this first choice layer. So he acts like, this and that and this. Joel Silver thought it was robots in the program. He got it wrong, got it right in Oblivion. Later, after Case is Thrown, he did Oblivion with Disney and got it right. Real people in the program acting robot-like because they're not allowed to show feelings. Got it. Okay. So the Immortals was about the immortal program where the one world society is instituted. It's happening right now. Stanford and IBM feel like they're perfecting longevity and everything. The Billionaires Club is now throwing money into the longevity program. It's all coming true. Red patch, everything else. And so the immortal title comes from the idea that the immortal program is what galvanizes the one world order, where all these political organizations, all these different diplomats and leaders around the world get their families into an immortal program by coming together to agree to create a one world order. Exactly what we're facing right now. It's all coming true. Neuro-Link facilitates that. Neuro-Link, back to the original question, Neuro-Link is the device that allows it to be implemented. Just think of all the bad things that Elon Musk is not telling us. He's not going to tell us. Now you're going to see his dialogue start to change now since I keep coming forward. And what's happening is he's going to start to say, there are some bad ramifications to He's going to start saying that as a cover. They weren't planning to say that originally, but because I don't shut up about it as the original creator, they're having a problem. Now, keep in mind also the Neuro-Link, they changed it at the patent office, the laws. They changed it. In 2013 and 2014, when Chilton's writing that response back to Sophia Stewart, they're also, when the case is being thrown, right, they also made a new ruling at the trademark office. They ruled that it's no longer who creates the item or the work, it's who puts it on the spike first at the patent office, right? So they changed that too. So they snowed the world, they snowed the public. So I'm obviously the original creator of Neuro-Link. It's all through here explained. And you even have a slide showing Elon Musk's face where the Neuro-Link is showed there, reacts back of the neck and everything. And so they changed the rules on us all. They changed the rules that it's no longer the creator. Doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't the creator be the one that awarded for the patent? Wouldn't that make sense? That's what I thought. So they changed the law. Now that law will be changed back again. Elon Musk is out of a job if it changes back that its original creator gets it, right? So we have all through here the jack of the neck right there, jack back of the neck. That portal, the enhancer, it's called the brain enhancer. Enhancer is what I called it. He changed it to Neuro-Link. They're good at changing titles. In fact, Immortals was changed to Matrix because you're taking the letters from Immortals. So you take the Immortals title there. Look at where's the letter? Can you get all the letters from Matrix out of that? So can you spell Matrix out of those letters only and add an X?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. So the X is added by Elon Musk. So the Wachowskis are given the work, the story, and the visuals they wanted. The same time Elon Musk is given the Neuro-Link by Warner Brothers. And that's something, he didn't come up with it. He can't explain it. So the Neuro-Link is from the author's, actually, I have a hole in the back of my neck, a little drainage hole, where I touch that and think of, wouldn't it be cool to have a library of memories and you can jack in your computer and everything? It's all my work. Yes, I'm the father of that work. It's all, can't be denied, once again, because look at the date on this piece right here. This is 1998 version used on set in 1999. Remember, one hand, one the other. So it can't be denied. This is published proof that the Neuro-Link is all this author's work. And so
Hey, Tom, the page you have there with the music on it, what is that?
That is the original music submitted. They actually use the variation of this in the heart-stopping scene. Where Neo revives Trinity, they actually use it. In fact, they gave it to the Warner Brothers label. On the Warner Brothers label, they gave it to a performing artist named Yanni. So when this was submitted in 1993, Yanni is given a piece that actually plays this right out. He stole it. Isn't that something? With his long hair from the time and trying to look sexy. Yeah, he was just giving it enough of that. They're very concerned about that because that was one of the things the author wanted was to destroy all tapes of the music. He actually did. He kept saying, I gotta see these things. I gotta come here. And he actually destroyed our copies, but we had other copies in storage on Maui. And we got it off Maui right before the fires. Yeah.
Wow.
Do you know they're hitting every place that this author has been, basically. And that's why we were predicting where the next hit would come. And what happened was the school shooting in Texas. My boy's going to Texas high school. You've got then followed by the Philadelphia shooting. That's where I was born, in Philadelphia. Then you have the Maui fires. That's where I performed 11 years, where Aiden was born and everything. And Papa K gave him his thing. On his birthday, which is today, my son has made it to 17 years old. I never thought he'd make it. And here he is, 17. And he's like, honor society, pals, piano, soccer. He does it all. He's an incredible kid. What happened at his school yesterday? Just outside his classroom. Remember what happened on Maui where the things just blew up? Outside, you look it up online at Barbers Hill High School, right outside the day before his birthday, the transformer explodes with a huge explosion and smoke billowing and fire. He could see it from the window of his classroom.
Wow.
So we can predict where events are going to happen by our timeline. The message is, from what I'm told by agencies, is there's a no-touch rule right now on me because I'm considered an asset after all they did to my family. So apparently a no-touch rule after they did all this hellish stuff, including 2 sons killed. And now they're simply going to make others pay where I was. And it's going to be, they're trying to shame me into believing that if I step foot somewhere, that place is going to suffer if it's my fault. And that's something. The way they play psychology. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Tom, when you did the Neuro-Link and you're writing about it, what was your version different than Elon Musk?
Because we know that there's in order to, in other words, if there is a counterfeit, there must be an original. So if there's an evil, there must be a good.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
because they can't create. They just take what already was there, and they steal it, they pervert it, and they twist it into their vision. So that's a great question, Karen. What was your original purpose for that?
Well, here's the deal. If you're writing a screenplay and this bit of new tech is integral to the story propelling itself and moving along to tell the stories, right? It serves the story. Then that tech is not going to just be pure good. It's going to serve different functions. And that's what's so amazing about this now, this whole Neuro-Link battle between me and Elon Musk, is that, like my son said, we can't claim it back because they changed the laws. There's no way I can claim it back because they changed the laws. They altered the rules, that it's no longer the person that creates it first, which is just ridiculous. And so what happens is, in the story, in a screenplay, you're going to have a lot of bad things with this tech, and it's spelled out very clearly, but Elon Musk won't talk about it. So the original positive things were library of memories. They did Interstellar. Christopher Nolan stole the work with Interstellar and did it very badly, actually showing bookshelves.
Yeah.
And so what you have is a little spaceman behind the bookshelf seeing his daughter. How ridiculous is that, small-minded Hollywood? And so Christopher Nolan actually, he's a professor in film school, said he'll never be a writer, that he's just so bad. He actually told him that. But Disney and Universal hires him, and because they want failed people to be in-house and steal work. So he did. But the idea was that there'd be a library of memories where you could live the memories of ancestors and others. And I still intend that. I intend for a sanctum where you have this thing where all these elderly people will celebrate them. And there'll be a plaque, and there'll be their most cherished memory that you can plug in and relive. And it'll be honoring all life and each of these individuals. So I see a library of memories. Now they're talking about the library of memories, and that's why they put it in Interstellar, rip it off. In fact, Christopher Nolan actually stole the best scene from the Immortals, which was where his Neo's daughter, he has a daughter, they stripped the relationship out. So Christopher Nolan restores that. And he has it that the daughter has aged and the dad hasn't, and comes back to see her, and he ruined that scene. Ruined it. Because the daughter in the ripped off version by Christopher Nolan in Interstellar, you see the father comes back to see the daughter. That is a rich field for a real dynamic scene. Instead, the daughter's surrounded by relatives, and she just looks at him and goes like, way to throw it away, Christopher Nolan. Way to ruin that moment. But he just wanted credit for it. He wanted to steal it and get credit for it. In the actual pages, it's what moved my friend Greg to tears and had me very emotional. And I thought, why did Wachowski strip that out? Why strip that relationship out? They didn't want Neo having a daughter. So they kept the train station scene where he sees a little girl, reminds him of his daughter. It doesn't make sense anymore, right? He's reunited with his daughter at the end. It didn't make any sense in the Matrix version. She now hugs the Oracle instead of Neo, because Neo's now employed to be the identical figures facing off at the end. So back to the positive. I had to take that layer.
Yes.
The positive as a writer. Positive is that besides the library of memories, the Neuro-Link also would allow for life-saving measures to be employed. Now watch Elon start to claim this now. He didn't know this before. He will now. You will have like a first aid kit where basically, as a parent, if your loved one, say a child, is in an accident, right? I've lost sons, so it's hard to keep it together. So here we go. It's it's funny because Sophia Stewart's one of the ones that says, Tom has no feelings. It's a narcissist. It's like, do you know what it's like to lose your sons and to be accused that you don't care?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, can you be worse person than that?
Yeah.
Sophia? Yeah. So she'll call and mock and say that they're dead because of a call. I'm sorry to sidetrack that, but it's very emotional thing. But the thing is that as a parent, if you have this first aid kit with a medical Neuro-Link in it, what will happen is, let's say there's an accident, heaven forbid. Your child's there. In those first moments, I was a first responder. So the first moments of a trauma are most important about saving a life. Those are the most important minutes ticking away. With a Neuro-Link in the first aid kit, you could pop it in and you'll be able to do surgery. You'll be able to know everything medically for your child. You'll be focused on that, where you can actually save your child's life in the most crucial minutes. There's a positive Neuro-Link. Now watch Elon Musk start to claim it. Watch him start to claim it. Watch him start to claim it. What are some of the negative things? Well, in the story, it had to be used where Neo has to use Smith's Neuro-Link in order to find the Cortex building in the dome. Sound familiar? That's in the Immortals. And so he has to learn how to lose his own memories. What are the bad things about Neuro-Link? You become dependent on it. And when you
Mhm.
have that pulled, your memories are gone. They can set a child in front of you, your child, in interrogation. This will be used for in the future if Elon gets his way. They will actually take our memories. You watch your child in front of you, and they'll say, for your own safety, Corina, for your own safety, we're going to take your Neuralink right now. We don't want you to harm yourself. Sound familiar? We don't want you to harm yourself. We don't want, we're concerned for your safety and for your family too, your daughter here in front of you. We're concerned, and they'll say to the daughter, we're concerned about mommy. We're going to help her, okay? And the child's like thinking, why is they there? Probably, what's going on, right? Disoriented already. And they'll do this in front of you while they're telling you this, Corina. They'll take your child's Neuralink because they'll say you were a bad influence on her and they have to help her. So they take it out and you'll watch your child lose bodily functions right there. Wet herself right there in front of you. An embarrassing moment for a child. You'll see her become disoriented. You'll see her forget who you are and your name. Then they'll supply a different Neuralink where you are stranger danger and they don't know you anymore. They're owned by the state. Just for another Neuralink being popped in. The cabal's needs are like that. Everything taken care of. Blockers are there, you name it. And you just lost your child in front of your eyes in seconds, less than seconds. As fast as that thing flipped across the screen with my entries with the Wachowski stick in, that's how fast your child will lose their affiliation with you. And they'll be frightened and distressed at that moment. Think of that terrible moment as a parent when you watch your child's Neuralink. I'm very emotional about it. Of course I am. I'm the creator of this thing.
Of course.
Story. And I want him to stop. I want Elon Musk to stop. Stop. Everybody stop praising him. Stop following him. He's a nobody. He's a failed bully. Don't fall for the act. He had plastic surgery to look like the original author. So don't fall for the dance of Elon Musk. He can't even explain this stuff. He's groomed by Warner Brothers and Disney and the agencies. Just let that sink in. So your child in that moment, you'll watch your child, first of all, in a split second, go to disorientation and horror, losing bodily functions. That's the moment that's the worst, where they suddenly watch that relationship gone, taken from you both. Then what happens is they're going to turn to you, Corina, and they're going to take your Neuralink. Now think of it this way too. Not only would it be the most horrific moment in the world for you, they now have your intellectual property. They now have very creative thought. They have every intimate moment with you and a loved one. They can see your child bathing when you were washing them as a child. And the pedophiles will thrive on your memories. The Neuralink of Elon Musk is the Antichrist. It is the evil. It is the mark of the beast. It is the wrong. That is the completion of the one world order where we will all be stepping in line. And the first thing that's going to be happening what the agencies do is they use agents in guise of thugs, homeless people. That's what they do in order to make it like an inglorious death, or you were taking on a homeless person. These are agents. That's what they did in Iraq and Afghanistan. British agents were disguised as Arabs to do atrocities against their own. And then they were freed by British and American forces after they did these horrors of rescuing people to create trouble. Same thing is going to happen with the future, where even present, agents are disguised as homeless people. They'll be disguised as just regular people. And what they'll do is do a crime where they don't take your wallet or your purse from you and your loved ones. They're going to take your Neuralinks. Talk about identity theft and talk about you lost everything. All your passcodes are there. It's Inception. It's Interstellar. What's going to happen is you will have it immediately taken. In one of the thefts of my work, Kate Chilton actually went from being Warner Brothers top litigation to Netflix litigation content. And so she covered, as they stole with Altered Carbon, the defendant stole through Sense8, and also these other programs where they're telling you, in Elysium they stole, where they actually take the Neuralink of the one character and stick it in the other. And what's interesting is they're showing Neuralink before Elon Musk is claiming Neuralink. They did it backwards, didn't they?
Interesting. Wow. Interesting.
The film, the ripoff of my film, they're stealing it, and then they're giving Elon Musk the credit. Isn't that interesting?
That's very,
you know what I've noticed even about this, like Tom and Corina, I've noticed that, like, I don't know, for you to write something like this, I mean, that's like, I mean, I don't even like to use the word prophetic anymore, but I mean, see this, what's happening right now? I mean,
Yeah.
he's like had a download of some stuff here,
Yeah.
right? And then these people take it and now they're going to take what he meant for good to, of course, to corrupt it.
That's it.
But I'm going to tell you, you got to download to come up with this.
Yeah.
Well, it was
All
down.
of these angles.
It was a
Yeah.
download. That's why I'm glad you asked me about the process of it too, because what I went through in the beginning, what was that training about? It was, to me, I call it training.
Mhm.
I don't have
Sure
the
was.
vocabulary to call it anything else. We're limited in our language, right?
Yeah.
We need a much more expanded language to deal with the layers of human
Yeah.
experience, the layers of feelings. Because we don't just feel one thing at a time, we feel multiple things at a time. That's normal, and that's vibrant, and that's charismatic, and that's what people, children, animals respond to that.
Yes.
You're showing up positive layers, then you're a dynamic human being. And that's what we're trying to bring back. They don't want that. They want simpletons that failed at everything, that show one thing at a time. I'm angry. I'm feeling
Is that
angry.
rewarded for bad behavior, right?
You're right. You're exactly right. And what you said was very, very important.
Well,
So, yeah, go ahead.
you know, it's powerful because what you're saying, because think about it, the pen is a weapon. So it's a weapon for good or it's a weapon for bad. So, you know, when you, Tom, sat here and you wrote all these things, it was a weapon for good to show the truth, because remember, and words are spells, right? So
Right.
you were spelling out the good, you were spelling out what humanity needs to understand to engage in that truth for this timeline. And then, of course, you're going to take it. Go ahead.
You know what's so important, what you just said too? Why does the architect hold a silver pen? The architect's
Yeah.
holding a silver pen in the room monitors. You know why? Now, they don't have a reason for it except from the stolen work. In the
Correct.
stolen work. And it was the scene I hated most. When I wrote it, I was just like, but I was faithful. I was actually just like a scribe, writing all this out and feeling it and not understanding it all, but just feeling it all. So it made sense. It made sense feeling wise. And I could see how audiences would react, right? They robbed generations from. But at the time when I'm writing about the pen, it is Neo that has a silver pen. The agents make him draw it out of his pocket and put it on the ground and they blast it. It seems so simple at the time, but then they give the silver pen to the architect. What does the silver pen represent? Creativity, freedom to create, love with creativity. They're destroying his creativity. Why did they give it to the architect to hold? The architect is taking our creativity. What happened when they stole this work and did Matrix out of the letters there? They stole our creativity. What's the Neuro-Link going to do? Like you said so eloquently, it's written for good, and they're going to use it to take our own creativity away. That's the joke on humanity. They think that they're going to use our very creativity to shut us away. What are they doing to the downflow, those downloads? The creators who created us, they're trying to shut the door on them in order to play God themselves. So they're very aware of what I saw and the visions I received. And they're saying, they're trying to bring me in as an asset, saying, you know, still they're saying, come on home, Tom, come on home. Why is there a no-touch rule on me right now? Now, one of the accusations they throw is, why is he still alive? Corina, Karen, can you imagine? That's their accusation. So you survive everything, being smart, playing it out, going off their playbook, doing the right moves, and they then accuse you of the thing that you're a fraud because you're still alive. That's their accusation. It's like, what do you want? We just survived. We just crossed the finish line, survived, and you're accusing us of being alive. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
They want to bring me in as a script doctor so I can steal other people's work. And they're saying, do it for your last surviving son. As if it's a gift that my last son's alive, that they didn't kill him. I'm supposed to be grateful to them that they didn't kill my last son. I'm pissed they killed my other sons. I'm pissed they sent Sophia Stewart at me to mock me. I'm pissed for all the shills that are sent to disrupt and confuse people by sending so much smoke and noise out there that people are doing, you know, posting another drop. I'm going to drop 1,000 drops, one of their players says. Save your 1,000 drops. It doesn't do any good. It's rehash. Let's focus on what actually works, which is the evidence they're most afraid of. If we bring forward the evidence they're most afraid of, we can unlock this better kingdom. We can do it.
So, Tom, how can people, our watchers, the ones that are watching, if they hear this, and I know that there is like it rose in me, this desire to fight for truth.
Yeah.
And if the ones watching this, they feel the same in their heart, what can they do? How can they connect, come alongside of you in different ways to help? What can they do?
Oh, so good, because the piece, like they talk about a code in the matrix, right? Now I answer in layers. I always say a good question prompts more questions, right?
Yes.
I say,
Yes. Very true.
forgive me, I'll go all over the place on this. But
No,
it's
this is
not being
good.
all over the map. It's that it takes like the writer process, the layers go to the different layers.
Yes.
And so the code, if you will, the code in the matrix, right, is actually to gather cross disciplines, different people from different disciplines, experts in the field that have compassion to come together to solve world problems. That's the code in the Immortals, right? And one of the things the other side went, they took that, and like you said, they took the good and made it bad. The biggest threat to our world right now is the think tanks. Let that sink in. The think tanks of the agencies and governing world powers. They're there to bring about these final solution. Why does Elon go like this? Why does he show the X? You know what the X actually represents? The final solution. The final solution. So every time you see X on Twitter or X on anything where X is shown by Elon and his contingency, other bot cronies, he's a crony. It's putting in your face, we're going to eliminate a large part of the population. We're going to do the final solution just like World War II. We're going to implement it and perfect it where Hitler didn't achieve it. We'll do it. We'll do it with his contingency. We'll do it with a paperclip. We'll do it with him. That's a sign. So every time Elon Musk says X, think of it that way. As we said about educating your public, educating your people, different persons. X is bad. Okay. Fire good, X bad. X is final solution. They're putting it right in front of your face. So they can say later, there's a code they have to follow, where they have to reveal it. They have to reveal it before they do it to you.
That's true.
They're showing the weapon. Every time Elon does this, he's showing the weapon, the threat to your children, the threat to your loved ones, the threat to your elderly. Don't let Elon Musk get away with this. So what we can do is do what the code in the Matrix was, the Immortals, what it was let's get together and solve the problem. What we need right now, anybody out there, is good attorneys. You win the game to get rid of the game, to change the game. So what we need is a very good attorney, preferably a female, because they fear women most. I know the cabal. I was groomed by the cabal. Ladies hold the key. True ladies. True ladies. That's why they're everybody. So I love that T-shirt that says, I am a real woman. I am the true deal. I'm the true woman. I love that T-shirt. I love that movement, because they're afraid of the true feminine. They're afraid of that. Insecure guys that are keeping their little creepy feelings still going. Where inside, what they fear most, and here's what they fear most: a woman who's got the class act, who's got the intelligence, who's not going to be pigeonholed or programmed into some kind of role, who's actually divinely feminine, saying to them, calling them publicly out, saying, you're such a nerd, or you're false. I don't think women should support you. Their biggest fear is being unpopular among women. Think of that. How shallow is that, first of all? How shallow is that? That doesn't mean anything to me, but it sure means a lot to them. So their cohesion of their boys club, and look at how the women they use, like Kate Chilton and Linda Burrows from Warner Brothers, they're all masculized. They're all made kind of in their attitudes. They're not exercising femininity. They're doing what the guys have told them to do. It's like be bullies on the playground with them. So the way to defeat them is to break their cohesion. To break their cohesion, they don't want to be laughed at. They don't want to be mocked by women.
Wow.
Own your femininity and come back and break them. They'll fall apart. They'll fall apart better than any missile you can throw. Is simply ridicule and put down, basically just intelligent. That's how you deal with narcissism. Give them the hard, cold facts right to their face. Their need is to feel superior. Individually, they all need to feel superior. So remove that feeling. Let them know publicly.
Wow. I want to say this, and then we'll take it to Karen. Karen, you have something to say?
Yes,
Let me
Tom.
say this. Hold on. Let me say this, because this is so cool, what you said about women. I just got off the phone, a Zoom with somebody that's in a pretty powerful position for the good, the light. And he said to me, Corina, it's about the divine feminine coming in right now. We need the divine feminine to come in right now to push away this darkness, this evilness that's in. So what you said, I'm like blown away. So thank you for saying that. Karen, you have another question regarding this Immortals, what he created, the truth.
I got to point something out really quick. They just disrupted your signal while you were saying that. There, remember we said in the beginning, that's why I'm interrupting right now. Remember I said, watch for the glitching? They glitched you the entire time, basically, you were saying about the divine feminine. They just let us know that that's what they're most concerned about. They just let us know they do knee-jerk reactions. So you were just interrupted your whole signal of freezing, chopping, things like that when you talked about the divine feminine. Can you repeat again one more time what you said, just clearly, before Karen comes on
Yes.
here? Because you want to hear what you both have to say, but I want to
Yes.
point it out, monitor, and say, they just interrupted you. So you just said what they fear most. Go ahead. Watch them do it again. I bet they freeze.
Yes. So what's so important is that the divine feminine is what is needed to come in right now, because the divine feminine right now carries that light that is going to trump and annihilate this darkness that's been operating in humanity all over the earth. So divine feminine women, rise up in the divinity that's inside of you, become the fullness of who you are, walk your blueprint, allow the divine femininity, that fire, that love that creates, to come out of you, and let it shine everywhere you go.
God, oh my God. That's it. Notice the tact. Sorry, Karen, I'm going to just say something really quick here. Is that you guys are so excited? So this is how this is the key to the kingdoms, right here. Key to the kingdoms is that you just said. And here's the deal. What do? What's their main tactic? They will go and divide you. If a woman, like me, an example, if a woman comes to me and goes, Tom, I want to go out with you or something, or, I appreciate who you are. I see your heart, even anything like that, anything of acknowledgement. They bring somebody in called an anonymous to talk that woman away. They're so afraid of that, of us, even people like myself, being acknowledged by the divine feminine as true male. They're so threatened by it. So that's why they disrupt your signal. Sorry, Karen, go ahead.
Well, I have one question I know everyone out there is probably thinking about, and we're getting ready to go into, can you handle the truth? So stay on, Tom, and then we're going to pause here and do an outro, and then I'm going to bring you guys back in. But Tom, the question everybody wants to know is, which one is the right pill?
God, I love it. All right. So when do we start?
Just say it now. While everybody's watching.
Right. That was so bizarre. They tried to snow an entire world, right? How many people say they're red pilled? Right? How many people say they're red pilled? I decided to get red pilled before it was brought to my attention. It was actually insiders that said, hey, do red pill rising. It was insiders that told me that without thinking, what was a good pill in the original? The blue pill. Ask any child, what's better, red or blue? Red in our society a lot of times is identified as danger, right? Blue is considered blue skies, peace, serenity, right? And so also the eye of the author. The reason it's a blue pill is a good pill is that it was the author's eye, what you see through the author's eye. I'm showing you what I saw. And so the blue pill is the good pill. The red pill was based on the blood of the children. You create a longevity program to create an immortal program. Back to the title question you said, the Immortals. So that's what was to bring the one world order based on the blood of the children. So they are laughing at us going, everyone's saying they're red pilled. Because when the Wachowskis took it and Warner Bros. And Disney took it, they reversed it on purpose. It's like almost making us culpable.
Inversion.
Yeah, right. And then laughing at us, right. And so Sophia Stewart actually made an entry recently responding to one of our programs. She went and said, the red pill is based on the blood of the children and it's the good pill.
Oh, geez.
How can you string that together? I mean, I understand the need to try to defeat us, but I'm saying, what kind of lineup is that? It doesn't work. So the red, and what's interesting is they have in the screenplay, they mix in what they're familiar with. Remember I said about the screenplays in one hand, Paul Martin says this, screenplays in one hand, 20-foot rule, if you're within 20 feet, you're fired, and then the visual storyboards in the other, and they make it up as they go along, right? So we know that. So what's interesting is, in the original work, as they're ripping off, they're filling in what they're familiar with. They get the pressure of union people on set, and there's a pressure timed set where it costs a lot of money every minute you're wasting. With all those people, union wages on set, right? You got to get productive, improvise, actors, improvise. Well, at the same time, they're filling in with what they know. Like the Jurassic Park idea with Spielberg, where they're throwing in the DNA of a frog to complete the chain of DNA. So what you have is them making up on set. You fill in the blanks as they lift everything out of context. They fill in the ghost from Train Man from Ghost. They're filling in Necromancer, Dark City. They're also throwing in Alice in Wonderland. So they go, isn't this cool? Let's do this in. That's how they fill it in. So with the red pill, blue pill, what they did was they took it out of context from the original work, and they have Morpheus offer both pills. It doesn't make any sense. Why do you need both pills? Why does Neo need a blue pill or red pill choice? They do the Alice in Wonderland, Eat Me, Drink Me. What really happened is Smith in the original work offers the red pill only. That's how it works in real life. The Cabal did this to me. They offer you the chair. They offer you the program, and you don't have a choice. If you don't take the program, they'll destroy you. So they don't offer you two things. It's not the Cabal going, okay, pick what you want. Oh, you don't want to join us? Okay, well, have a nice day. It's not how they work. They go, we'll take this, and or you and your family will die. That's how they work. That's the red pill offered only. That's what's in the original script. The blue pill comes, that puts Neo in the program, right? And so they allow him to be in the program because they're bringing him in. What are they doing with me? Courting me, offering position, still telling me to come home, right? Be a script doctor, other people's work. So I'm only offered the red pill in their world. And that's what I wrote, and that's what I reflected through art. Wachowski's, stick Alice Wonderland in. So what happens with the blue pill? The blue pill enters later when Neo is cut from the program. So Neo's cut from the program. So get the timeline. Red pill's offered by Smith, only by Smith, red pill only. You can enter the program, you work for us. Interrogation scene is when it's offered. Wow. Then what happens is Morpheus offers the blue pill later, and Neo is cut from the program, so he can go back in the program and defeat Smith. The blue pill is needed to re-enter the program. It's a bootleg pill, not based on the which has painful side effects, which isn't perfected, to allow them to get Neo at least back in the game. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Now go to Wachowski's again.
Well, there you have it, folks. Right from the horse's mouth.
Wow.
Yeah. So you put it back in the story the way it is. Now, what they're arguing is Sophia Stewart saying, you can't make this. She'll call and say, you can't make this. You can't make it. You can't. They'll put an injunction on you. I'm like, if they put an injunction on me, it'll be based on similarities. If they're arguing there's similarities, that means we win right there. We win. Without your attorneys handling us and have a suspended license. So we'll come back and we'll win. So go ahead and put an injunction. They can't stop us. So when we make this as is, Marvel Comics kept sending a guy named Paul Anderson, who was with the Cypherman project. And they kept saying, let's do a Cypherman blend of you and the Immortals and Cypherman. No, I won't, Marvel Comics. Because this has to be shown as is for people to see that the work was stolen in order to get the messages and everything back the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And prophetic or not, prophetic out, get the word out. So it has to be intact. So they're pushing for a blend all the time now. No blend. We're going to make it as is. And that's why they're arguing. No one's going to come and watch it. Love it or hate it, people are going to come to see if it's real.
Yes.
If how it ties together, what decades have been lost about, how the story was actually supposed to play out. So I think people are going to come and see it, love or hate it, and they know that. So that was defeated. It's the first time I ever heard Sophia Stewart get quiet on the phone when I answered saying, go ahead and do it. If they put an injunction. So it's over.
So Tom, how can people find you?
Well, that's so cool. Let me go right to look at her. Make sure I got the title right. So we just got it last night. We had a meeting and got it up, and I want to tell you what it is called. So we have a website now that's going to be called. I'm so excited about it. The real Neo story at outlook.com. The real Neo story at outlook.com. Is going to be our username, and the website we'll have a website backup after all this time, after it being struck by Warner Brothers. We're going to get it back up. Remember that attorney that was suspended license and everything I showed you that was classmates with Warner Brothers attorney? He's the one that said, strike your site, you got to strike it after they had all the files. So their big fear is a website up. We're going to get it back up. Kate, one of the main players with Kate Chilton, the lady who was in charge of Warner Brothers for like 3 decades. She resigned when our programs were cut. Red Pill 78, Sarah Westall. I'd done interviews with them. They cut all these programs, and Sophia Stewart called. And then she said, at the same time, at that very day, is when the lead of Warner Brothers resigned. So we knew we had him on the run. We knew we had him shook. Just like when you talked about the Mind today, and they started breaking your signal. They let us know. They're simpletons. They let us know what they're most afraid of. We can cry, wolf. We can cry bear. We can cry ostrich, and they glitch us. It's ostrich. Okay.
So good. Wow. Well, thank you, Tom, so much for being here with us, sharing the truth, fighting for the truth, creating the truth. Because you guys, it's so important to write the vision down and then run with it. And Tom, that's what you have done. And we are believing with you that justice is, not will be, is by your side, and truth shall prevail and set this free. So you guys, thank you so much for watching us. We're so happy you're here. Please go and check Tom out. You know, just keep him in his heart, keep this truth, and just unite. You know, let's be in unity for this truth and justice to be seen in this timeline, in this moment in time, in this timeline. So thank you guys for watching us. Karen, I'll shoot it back to you.
Yes, once again, we're so glad, Tom, that you came on the show. We appreciate your time today, and stay on with us as we go for Can You Handle the Truth? You guys out there that are watching, you can join us by hooking up on Facebook and look for the Quest for Truth with Corina Pataki, and also on Patreon for the Quest for Truth. We'd love to have you there. Sign up. We have 2 tiers, a silver tier and a gold tier, where Corina, you'll get time with her once a month on that gold tier. We have a great discussion about right now, who is Yahweh exposed. So that's gripping, I'm telling you. So she's producing a lot of things out here, and don't miss it. And always, like I said, go to Facebook so you can keep up with events, retreats, things that she's doing. Corina, tell us about the event that you're going to next month.
So, wow, I'm so blessed and honored to be able to have been invited to the Spiritual and Galactic Informers Connection, led by Danny Henderson. It's in Orlando, Florida. I'll be among incredible world changers and heroes, quite frankly, like Elena Denan, Alex Collier, Danny Henderson, Tony Rodriguez, oh my gosh, Dan Willis, so many others. So it's October the 20th through the 22nd, you guys. This is going to be a world-changing event where truthers gather together to release boldly technologies that have been hidden from humanity, technologies that come from our galactic family, also that come from, you know, divine creator, truth that has been hidden, and the understanding of our genesis as humanity, and the fullness and the truth of who we really are, what is inside our DNA that they have not been wanting us to understand, to tap into, but to keep us dumbed as little sheep that needs a shepherd. And don't get me started, because, you know, I'm very fired up right now. So, yeah, come join us. And you can find that link on, again, our Facebook page, Corina Pataki, or the Quest for Truth. And, yeah, come join us October 20th through the 22nd in Orlando, Florida.
All right. So we'll see you on the next show. Corina, love you, love what you're doing, and glad to be a part. So here we go. We're carrying over to Can You Handle the Truth?
We love you guys. Bye-bye. Be blessed.